Texas Podcast Massacre contains spoilers and adult language. For more horror, visit us at our website at texaspodcastmassacre.com.
To another episode of Texas Podcast Massacre, coming to you from Houston, Texas. I'm your host, Mitch, and with me, as always, is the Decapitron to my blade, Nate.
He shoots, he scores.
God, I can't wait to talk about this.
He scores.
Read the room, dude. Read the room.
Look, there are run-of-the-mill geniuses who have to get jobs, and then there are just the next level of geniuses, which includes me. So there you go.
Well, there you go. Well, welcome to another episode of Texas Podcast Massacre, where each week we take a look at a different horror movie and debate a horror-related topic. This week we are in our Doll of Fame, week 3. Welcome to Dollywood. And you know what? We're bringing back, I dare say, it's like when Modern Family, Nate, used to just always be part of, the Emmys or whatever. Like that's pretty much this. I mean, there's always going to be a puppet master in the running for a Doll of Fame spot. And this week we are talking about what I can only assume will be your absolute favorite.
Is there some sort
franchise.
of like sometimes when they're just like, hey, like how the Oscars there's like, no women, like directors, nominated ever. Like, can we just do this? Is there like some sort of like, can we revamp the selection committee to like stop this reign of terror from Puppet Master? Is that like possible or
nope? I think it's still still happening. Sorry,
that's unfortunate. Okay.
Nope. Welcome to your nightmare. So yeah, we're look, you might out there think, hey, well, Puppet Master 1 was good. I mean, it is. We ain't talking about that. Then you're thinking,
who are these people?
Well, 2 is probably like the best of the entire franchise. Debatable. Very good point. Not what we're talking about. No, we
kicking
decided
yourself in the face or kicking yourself like
when given the option, Nate chose to, and I quote, continue the story and go for 3.
That was said
even,
very sarcastically.
Let's even make sense in any way, shape, or form. But here we are. We are doing Puppet Master 4. Oh, Nate, I
was just gripped so much by the third one.
So
there you go.
Help me out here, Nate. I gave you a choice of 4. I said either do 1, 2, 4, 5, because I can't vouch for anything past like retro Puppet Master and all that. So what about 4 drew you to it? What about this one? We say, let's just go with number 4. I have a theory. You couldn't. Well, was that all it was?
Actually, this is actually great. I'm retroactively saying that we should shut it down because 3, 4 shut the door. So that means that we should shut the door on this chapter of Doll of Fame, and be done. Okay.
I mean, that's definitely not going to happen. But I really love that
choosing that is as much logic as just showed in this movie. In fact, more so. So. There's that. No, I don't know. I just wanted to see what kept happening, right? Because supposedly the other ones are like a little bit more realistic, supposedly, and this one is not. So it definitely turned between 3 and 4, quite a bit from what I remember. So,
Well, yeah. I'm just happy that you picked this one. It made me feel pretty good about things. And with that said, Nate, look, before we get into this, why don't we have a debate question?
Hearken to me, you two-legged dogs. Drink the vision mead of knowledge. To learn what it is to live and die in honor. To be in battle slain and in death rewarded by the Valkyrie's embrace.
Yeah, you got some Valkyrie's embrace going, so that's good. Nate, let me ask you,
No.
this movie, I mean, look, starts you off with some weird Egyptian demon shit. And please don't ask, because it doesn't make any sense.
Maybe the Egyptians stole from them. It's like a Stargate kind of deal.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. That could work. Sure, why not?
Could it? I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah, why not? Look, so the main bad guy who doesn't do anything is Sutek, which I believe is supposed to be actually like, the god Set in Egypt, or it's a character from Doctor Who based on Google. Whatever.
You are looking way too. Wow, you actually were trying to make sense of that garbage. Okay.
I was just curious if they just made this up as a word jumble, like a word, jumble, or was this actually supposed to be something?
It's just the dude and his little small friends in hell. What's the big deal? It's
sure.
pretty self-explanatory to me.
Sure. Sure. This is all Egyptian. That's fine. But here's the thing. Here's the thing, Nate. This movie came out in 92, 93. I can forgive the really terrible foam bodysuit with the waving arms thing. I mean, again, we're watching a movie about puppets. We're watching a movie.
Comical.
We're watching movies about puppets coming to life and murdering things. Fine. I can suspend disbelief here. But let's talk about this voiceover. They found the most like bland white dude Discovery Channel like voiceover to be the villain of this. And I mean, off the bat, like it's like the first minute of this movie, you hear this thing talking, you're like, that's the voice you went with, huh? Doesn't exactly instill fear, right? Like I showed
my wife the beginning of this movie, and to be honest, you look at it and you go, okay, so something real ominous is happening. You got weird Egyptian looking busts. It's almost a alien kind of esque aesthetic. Like dark gray blacks with like tubes, in it. It's like, okay, like I'm quasi interested in this. And then you just see this like fake rubber looking skeleton thing, and it has just like the most hilariously terrible voice you've ever heard in your life. And my wife just laughed out loud, entirely unprompted, about how stupid it was. So there's that's how you start the movie.
Yeah.
And it does not improve. So there's that. It's so bad. I can't even really describe it. How would you describe this voice? Like, what is this voice? Like, put it in words for the people.
Well, I said it's like it's now. Hold on, I'm not going that far. I'm just saying. It's just so. I don't know. It sounds like he should be like. He came back from his job of kicking off Double Dare on Nickelodeon. Actually, no, that guy had more charisma. I don't even know.
Way less energetic than that somehow. I don't know how that's possible, but it.
No, it's the same guy that would always, like he says in the 90s, same guy that would always go like, this episode of Family Matters was filmed in front of a live studio audience in Burbank, California. It's like,
but that guy has got. I feel like that's still.
Well, so all that said, Nate. Let's do over. Let's have a do over here. Which and let's think early 90s because which early 90s, I mean, who would be a better voiceover for this? You know, I mean, look, Christopher Walken would have nailed it. I mean, there's pretty much the bar is so low. It'd be hard to pick a worse option. Maybe that's a better debate question. Who would be worse? But who would be a better voiceover for this Sutek dude?
I mean, look, you kind of do the voice of what's the dude's name? Is it the same dude as Scooby-Doo? The guy who did Dr. Claw?
Oh yeah, Dr. Claw. That was Inspector Gadget.
Yeah, but isn't that the same dude who does it's like the same dude who does Fred from Scooby-Doo. Oh, what's his name?
I don't know. This is a deep cut. I don't
know. Something with a Frank Welker. There we go. That guy does Dr. Claw, and he also did the voice of the orc leader guy in Lord of the Rings. In the second one, and who sounds like Dr. Claw because it's the same guy. Anyway, that guy, but you don't understand. I guess that's too obscure. What about Mark Hamill? Can I throw Mark Hamill out?
Sure, Mark Hamill would have done great at this role.
What if it was freaking James Earl Jones?
Well, yeah,
I
mean,
real gravitas.
That would give it a little too more
to this.
That would be off-putting in a different way.
I watched Lion King recently with my son, so that's like
yeah. He's James Earl Jones would be someone down on a Puppet Master movie, right? But man, what about like an early Ray Fiennes?
Oh, that's way too classy for this. That's way too classy for this. For this character, this character has got to be I'm thinking this is just way too on brand for our podcast. But what about Willem Dafoe? Because he did the Death Wish live action voice, right?
Sure.
This is Death Wish-esque. This whole kind of setup. So I'm in on Willem Dafoe. He would not be slumming it either.
No.
Frank Welker has much more of a chance to
I even think Liam Neeson could have delivered.
What about your boy Tony Todd?
Fine.
What about your boy Tony Todd?
Tony Todd, seriously?
He needs work. He's in a lot of crappy horror movies. I feel like he's actually
sure. Tony Todd would have been greater. You know what? I want to change my mind on this debate question because again, what's a worse voice? I think that's going to be more harder to pick. Who would have been a worse voice for this? What about De Niro?
What about Joe Pesci? Joe Pesci just sending puppets out to do hits. And he calls them hits from the underground, from the underworld. I guess that would be great.
Oh, that
would be great.
You know what? I don't hate it. I don't hate it.
Joe Pesci. That would be incredible.
I didn't write any quotes with it. That's a shame. Could you? Just that fucking high pitched voice just coming out at you. Yeah, that's good. Al Pacino would have been phenomenal in a terrible way. If you're just gonna lean into this movie being real terrible, that's the way to do it.
Well,
right?
and to be fair, this is my main critique of this movie is that they have the opportunity to be terrible and they don't even do it. They're just it's just mediocrely bad. I wish they had gone more. I wish they had gone the Troll 2 route, which was easily possible with the setup of this hell skeleton person.
What if you just let Robin Williams just riff? You don't.
That would have been great too. I would have been absolutely
practically a commentary track, right?
I would have been absolutely okay with that. That would have been fantastic.
I'm looking up other like 90 stars. Hugh Grant would have been a terrible pig. Danny DeVito would have been fantastic.
Hugh Grant. Ugh.
Yeah.
At least get like a Tim Curry or something.
Yeah. No, that would have been again. That would have been too good. Danny DeVito would have been. I mean, phenomenal.
Can I pick someone who like I think would be hilarious?
Yeah.
What about like a Jason Mantzoukas or something? Like that would be incredible.
Sure. If you're picking like people around now, I was looking at people that would have been around actually then.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But no, that's fine. That's fair.
I watched Big Mouth recently also. So this is all the recent people I've heard in voice acting. That would have been great. I think whoever they had was just bad. I just can't even really describe how awful it was.
Well, look, if you want to find out, you don't have to wait long. It's in the first 5 minutes. Well, there you go. Look, frankly, I think you probably knocked out the park with.
It was Jake McKinnon.
Yeah, I no one gave him notes. I think he just they were just like, hey, go record this. Cool. No notes, no nothing. He sounded confused halfway through. Like I think he was just actually comprehending what he was just saying, and he's like, wait, what? What the hell am I reading for?
Yes, he might thought it was like an infomercial.
Yeah.
Like that would have made more sense with what we heard and what was executed. So don't even get me started in this costume department. Oh my God.
Well, look,
I guess we'll get there, but
I mean, I think you probably win at Joe Pesci, but look, if you have a better voice or a worse voice, however you want to phrase it, let us know at TexasPodcastMassacre@gmail.com, TXPodMassacre on Twitter, Texas Podcast Massacre everywhere else. Give us a call on our voicemail hotline, 346-246-3143. We want to hear from you. We want to hear about which is your favorite Puppet Master doll, which is your favorite Puppet Master movie. Nate needs to know who to avoid when he sees your name pop up on our feeds.
What's your favorite Puppet Master movie? No. We solved it.
There you go. And you know, again, it's Doll of Fame. Look, we have a lot to pick from this movie. And
is there a way we can not put someone in the Hall of Fame even though it's a Doll of Fame episode? Is that possible?
No, we have to pick someone, Nate. Someone has to go in.
I need to talk to this rules committee.
You're telling me there's not one doll, demon or otherwise, that you would put in this Doll of Fame for this week?
Oh, does the demon count?
It's a demon doll. I think so.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. Okay. Yes. Yeah, those 3 ones I think would count.
Yeah, I think they would. In the 5th one, you have another one, but it has a cape, and that's how you know it's more powerful than the rest.
I mean, I wouldn't pick any of them, but I see how they are technically eligible. Like how Will Ferrell was in the basketball movie Semi-Pro, right? I mean, technically it was released as a film in a year, so it could have won an Oscar. I mean, technically, yes. So in the same way as that, I agree with you.
Well, let us know. I'm sure we're gonna get some different thoughts on this one in terms of who should be made in. I don't even know if we're gonna get to a consensus on this show between us two. So we'll need some tiebreakers. With that said, Nate, let's talk about this week's movie of the week, Puppet Master 4.
In a hotel on Bodega Bay, a team of scientists will discover a secret beyond their imagination.
For the moment, the secret of my magic and my puppets is safe. Maybe that's the formula Toulon wrote about.
A power that a demon
It's showtime.
will kill to possess.
The magic that gives my puppets life was stolen from a tribe of ancient Egyptian sorcerers who pledged their allegiance to the demon lord Sutek.
What Toulon stole from me, we must recover.
Their only hope lies in Andre Toulon's deadliest puppet.
I am with you, Puppet Master.
Is this still happening?
Puppet Master 4, The Birth of Decapitron.
Oh, I should let this play. I was gonna say now available on video cassette. Damn it. But yeah.
Do we just listen to the whole movie? What's happening?
Practically. Well, it is a short film. Oh, Nate. I'm so thrilled we're talking about this one. I mean, look, the elevator pitch for this one is, hey, we can film two of these movies back to back at the same time between 4 and 5. And what if we take the puppets, but now they're good guys because of 3, because of the Nazis.
Yeah, because of that great storyline that I wanted to continue.
What's worse than Nazis? Egyptian demons. Seems a little racist, but we're gonna go with it. But
This is
Egyptian.
I don't know if they're Egyptian. I think.
No, they're Egyptian. He says he stole the thing from an Egyptian.
Oh yeah, the guy's name's like Sutek or something.
Yeah, which is like the another name for the Egyptian god Set. I know. They really lean into Egyptian on this, and they're like, "Here's my fake Ouija board, but with like hieroglyphics on it." Real weird. A lot of questions. And I don't want to hear. Look, you know, every time I get a lot of comments from folks that are like, "Nah, Mitch, it's the reason why." You can't tell me that anything about this was researched. Nate, would you believe anyone involved in this production researched a thing about anything?
They researched how to make movies cheaply.
That's fair. Look, they cranked out 2 films.
That was highly researched.
Yeah. They cranked out 2 films. Pretty much back
like
to
Matrix,
back.
Matrix 2, Matrix 3, you know, filmed at the same time.
Really need you to stop.
Avatar 2, Avatar 3, same thing.
Yeah, that's right, Nate. When you think of the Matrix 2 and 3, I want you to think of Puppet Master 4 and 5. Really, I want you to just equate those 2 in your head for all eternity.
They're both sequels. That's about as close as it gets for me to seeing similarities, but that's fine.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there's that. So, Nate, what is this? I mean, just tell us about this movie. Did you research anything with this? Or are you in such like staunch like, I don't know. Are you so aggressively against this movie that you didn't even look up anything with this movie film?
I don't know. It's just so worthless, you know? Like, I looked it up. I mean, I have information. But
I'll tell you a few things about it. This movie came out.
Probably. I'll tell you. I mean, I have the information.
I mean, I'm happy to relieve you this week.
So the budget of both films together was $4 million.
Do you think it was split evenly, Nate?
How? How is it $4 million?
Well, there's more that happens in 5.
Okay, was it more 5?
Because for one, there's more fire effects because there's like a whole puppet that's like on the box cover that is not at all in this movie.
Okay.
There's a whole.
I read that there's a torch.
Yep.
Not human puppet torch person.
Yep.
That I know is
There's
is around in number 5.
More deaths, more kills, more. Yeah, it's. I think 5 probably end up costing more of the 2.
Okay. Well, think about it this way. Almost $4.2 million in 1993. And that's how much Get Out cost in 2017. So I just want to put that in perspective about how much wasted money this movie had. So yeah, Puppet Master 4. It is it's interesting because there's no colon here. So Toulon's Revenge is 3, right? Puppet Master 3 colon. 3 was the numerals, right?
Yeah.
4 went to the numbers, but just 4. And 5 was Puppet Master 5, the final chapter. Then they were liars.
I don't think it ever
And
called
there's
the final chapter.
It's Puppet Master 5, colon, the final chapter.
I'm looking at the VCR box of it. It's Puppet Master 5. It doesn't say final chapter. Who said final
It's
chapter?
literally called the final chapter.
I disagree, but go ahead. Continue.
It says the final chapter above Puppet Master 5 in smaller text. Look at the VHS thing. It's in blue font above it. You're welcome. Anyway.
Well, the colons are before Puppet Master 5 then?
No,
final
they're
chapter.
terrible. Mitch, I don't know what you're expecting here. It's terrible. Did
I mention that?
order?
Did I mention in 5 the demon thing has a cape, and that's how you know it's more
you did it.
more demon?
I tried to forget, but I
No, I need you. I really wish we had double featured this. I really wish we had this.
I'd rather not.
Nate, it would have taken you 2 hours. It would. We've seen longer movies at Fantastic Fest. Anyway,
Yeah, but they were way better. That's the difference.
Debatable.
You know my favorite part about watching this on Peacock is that Peacock, proud sponsor of the show. My favorite part about watching this on Peacock is that you start the movie, right?
Yeah.
You start the movie, and then if you're watching it like on on PC on the screen, the movie is playing, right? But if you bring up the menu, right, like if you mouse over, right, the window, right, and watch it, it shows. So it says Pub Master 4, right? It shows the title of the movie. It obviously brings up the play button, skip forward, skip backward, subtitles, all that stuff, right? But it also every single time shows you the Rotten Tomato score and the icon of it's like, the Rotten Tomato icon, like if it's terrible, it's the popcorn spilling. Spoiler alert. I have this permanently seared in my brain. This is the 32% on Rotten Tomatoes. I saw it 10 million times as I was debating skipping ahead 10 seconds just to waste even less time on this. So that was hilarious. So that made it more enjoyable for me. So great user experience, Peacock.
Well, now to be fair, that is the audience score, because there's actually not a critic score for it.
Oh, that's the audio. Oh my god, the critic score is negative. They probably don't even have that like in their logic. Like if it's the negative number, we're just
Nate, Puppet Master 5 is a 33% of that. If that helps. But what's funny enough, the only one that has a Rotten Tomatoes, like a critic score, is The Littlest Reich at 70%.
70% critic score?
Yeah.
From 4 critics?
Littlest Reich, maybe the highest rated of the series on Rotten Tomatoes.
That is damning. That's catastrophic failure. Wow. Okay. Wow.
I forgot Corey Feldman's in one of these. Anyway, keep going, please.
Of course. Corey Feldman forgot he was in it. So this movie, the original, the first of the 4 came out right around Thanksgiving, 1993. This is a tight 79 minutes. Feels like double. So it's embarrassing because there's a movie, or this movie features an acid attack on a hell minion based controlled demon doll, and it's still boring. So that's what a waste is basically what I'm saying. Not that they could have done anything with this.
I do see a review for this that says, I do believe this movie was loosely based on William Shakespeare's The Tempest, but I could be mistaken.
Oh, I can see that actually. I could actually see that.
All right. Anyway, sorry. I'll keep
tagline for this one. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I don't care at all. When bad puppets turn good. That's the tagline. Okay. I mean, I don't hate it immediately. So
Sure.
there's that. This is a shockingly high 5.1 on IMDb. So, and you already know the 32% Rotten Tomatoes audience score somehow. This is the movie that features Decapitron, which is, I'm assuming, is if we have to nominate somebody, I guess it's probably Decapitron.
We'll see. We'll see.
You'll be surprised to know that Puppet Master 4 and 5 had very little pre-production done to it because of the extremely tight filming schedule. So
I forgot Greg Sestero is in the new Puppet Master Dr. Death movie.
Of course, yeah. So
as Andre Toulon, that's incredible.
This is movie 4 of 15. That's right. I believe since the last one.
Nate, someone's watching
that we did.
That's all I'm saying.
Well, they're made so cheaply that it's like if like you watch it, it's probably already like profitable.
I mean, they got that deal from Peacock, so
yeah, I don't know what that's about. They only have a couple of them, but yeah, if you have Peacock, you're set there. I'm not even gonna get into the storyline. I mean, for this, I don't really care. But so the director of this is Jeff Burr. You might remember him from other directorial things like Puppet Master Blitzkrieg Massacre, which is this an actual Puppet Master movie? I think so. So there's that. I don't see it in the list, so it might be like an unofficial movie. If this guy's doing unofficial Puppet Master movies, then that is terrible. He directed the TV movie Tornado Warning. It's about electrical tornadoes from extraterrestrials, so not actually that far off from this movie. You might remember him from Stepfather 2. Yeah, that's exciting. Leatherface, Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3. Featuring Viggo Mortensen. So he did an actual movie. And then he did Pumpkinhead 2. Both of these Puppet Master movies. And that was the end. Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3 and Pumpkinhead 2 were the highlights. And after these movies, it went like his 2004 film that he directed, straight into darkness. So there you go. There's that. He co-directed a movie called Mil Mascaras versus the Aztec Mummy. So that's the kind of quality you're getting in this film. The main character in this one is Rick. I don't know how many times he's called a genius in this movie, but it's at least like 79. You might remember him from Left Behind the movie and Left Behind 3, World at War. You might remember him from the TV series 1-800-Missing. Is that the prequel to the Missing movie that just came out, Mitch? No. Okay. Well, fair. You might remember him. You might remember him from the Chris Isaak show. Chris Isaak had a TV show in the early 2000s that I had forgotten about and also never knew existed. So there's that. We'll talk about later in this episode, but The Fear Resurrection. Fear is a hilarious part of this thing. Poltergeist, The Legacy TV shows. He was in a movie called Blood and Donuts. and he was in an episode of Murder, She Wrote the same year as in Puppet Master 4. So downgrade. Yeah, that's it for that. And he was also in Jason Takes Manhattan. Previous episode. If you remember that, if you remember him, which I did not.
No.
So that doesn't bode well for his part in this film. You might so the female lead of the film, Susie, played by Chandra West. You might remember her from such instant classics as 2005's Michael Keaton-led horror film White Noise. Remember White Noise? She was in the extremely good movie from 2019, Spiral. Not that Spiral with Chris Rock, the other Spiral on Shudder. I quite like that movie. She was in that one, so that's good. And she's been in all the TV episodes of everything. Monk, you got your Monks, you got your NYPD Blues, Jack and Jill. Not the Adam Sandler movie, but the TV series. And there's a TV series. Yeah, it doesn't matter. There's just so many. But nothing ever good. So other than Spiral. So there you go. The person who played Sutek in this movie is Jake McKinnon. Any idea what things he's done? Mitch, at all? Have you heard of this guy before?
No.
Good, because you're about to. Same year he did Puppet Master 4, he did Mandroid. That's right. They combined man and android into a movie that is a 4 on IMDb. So there's that. Trancers 4, Puppet Master 5, From Dusk Till Dawn, Monster, Wishmaster, Skeleton Man, stayed in the Skeleton Family for Wishmaster, your favorite movie of all time, Mitch. What do you think about that?
Cool.
Do you remember the skeleton in particular?
No.
Okay, well, that's great. Little Nicky, he was in Little Nicky.
Who was he in Little Nicky?
Big Bird.
Oh. I feel bad that I remember that of all the things you've listed.
Over
the big.
He was the professor in House of a Thousand Corpses. He was the Beast in Ginger Snaps 2. He was the bear in Anchorman: The Legend of Ron Burgundy. He was Hellhound in Ginger Snaps Back, the beginning.
So if you need someone to wear a suit,
yeah, he was in Land of the Dead as a hillside zombie. And he was Bishop Trick, Deputy Number 12 in Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. So this is the level of amazingness that you're getting. He's also a puppeteer, Mitch. He doesn't just get in the suits. He does some puppeteering and laboratory technicianing, like in your favorite movie of all time, Return of the Living Dead 3, Dolly Dearest, Spy Kids, Blair Witch 2, and Goosebumps, just to name a few. So there you go. And he worked in the mechanical department. I'm hoping on the gun used at the end of The Mist. He was the mechanical department person in The Mist. So I hope he helped with the gun scene at the very end. So there you go. That's this. That's this movie, Mitch. All right, there you go. That's all I got, or all I want to talk about anymore. And Charles Band. This is a Full Moon Entertainment production. Full Moon Productions was started in 1988 after Empire Pictures that he founded 5 years before had gone under. So he was the Michael Scott Paper Company. Full Moon Productions is the Michael Scott Paper Company of terrible movie studios. Empire Pictures made movies like Ghoulies. Ghoulies 2. Actually, a good movie, Reanimator. That was this guy. Reanimator 2, Evil Bong. That in Ginger Dead Man. That is the level we're talking about here. So yeah, there you go. And not to be forgotten, one of the worst movie cash-ins in the history of Earth. Full Moon Features, produced by Charles Band, the guy, and directed by Charles Band, the guy who has done all his Puppet Master movies. Corona Zombies, released April 10th, 2020. This says it was inspired by the coronavirus outbreak or pandemic. So shocking that Corona Zombies that came out April 10th, 2020. It won 2 Golden Raspberries in 2021. So there you go. I had to get a little bit of Charles Band in there. All right, go ahead, Mitch. Best great movie or the greatest movie? Go.
Well, I noticed you left out Teresa Hill, who plays the psychic. Although they tried to say she's some sort of scientist, but psychic, sure.
I assume she was like an empath or something. I don't know. I
think the biggest movie she's in besides this is Biodome. Nate, guess which one got the higher IMDb rating?
I don't know. Is Biodome below Puppet Master 4? Somehow?
It is. Substantially. Which one do you think was the most damaging to her career? Biodome or this movie?
Biodome, because people actually watched it.
I mean, you watched this, so there you go. I mean, Nate, like overall thoughts. This movie, very much a relic of its time.
Overall thoughts. The opening is comically terrible, as we went over, right?
Yeah.
And then the scene right after that is from the outside perspective of a car. Okay, it's raining. You're looking in the car. You don't see the driver's face. You see their hand. And then I counted it, 45 seconds, the scene lasts. The person is driving ostensibly to the first location to drop off this demon doll to kill people, who are dealing with artificial intelligence. Don't even get me started on any sort of computers in this movie. He's patting the case. It's a wooden case for 45 seconds. So that in the opening scene with the Egyptian stuff, and then the worst voiceover of all time, and probably one of the worst monster costumes of all time. You're about 7 minutes in this movie, and that's all you've got. So that's a pretty rough start. So those are my thoughts. My initial thoughts. It's so bad, Mitch. I don't even know what to tell you. Did you enjoy this in any way?
When I watched it now, or when I watched it the first time back in 95 or whenever?
Now. I'll say now.
How would I?
Oh my God. This is Puppet Master, and you are just
because I know you're gonna jump on
learned.
whatever I say. So here's sort of where I'm at with it. It's not the worst movie I've ever seen by any stretch. There are some things I do like about their little novel. Again, the problem is, Nate, is that, and I've said this before, I think doll-based horror movies are just utterly ridiculous on their face, and I just can't take them seriously anyway. So I let a lot of things pass. You know what I mean?
Okay. Your expectations are so low to start.
Right. I can't get upset about a lot of things. Is the whole Egyptian demon weird stuff really hokey? Yeah. Everything, all the scenes where it's with Sutek and his little troll 2 minions or whatever,
I was gonna say they wish they were Troll 2. I literally said this out loud to myself. I was like, if this was Troll 2, it would be so much better. And that's not a sentence you ever really want to like think. You know what I mean? Like that's not something that you're like, oh, I wish I could say this. Like that would be great for my life. No, I never would say that.
Right. So
it was bad. It was bad.
Yeah, all those parts real bad. But the scenes where the things are actually like running around terrorizing people, not terrible. I mean, look, it's dated for sure, but the smoothness of some of the stop motion is really good in this one compared to some of the other Puppet Masters. It's a pretty creepy.
Wait, what are these other Puppet Masters doing? I thought it was quite bad. There was one scene that was really good, and you could tell they spent a lot of money on it.
Yeah.
I think I know what you're talking about there, but the rest.
I just mean like the fluidity of the movement, right? Like they're moving around. There's the ones where they're just like the arms are just jiggling in place, and it's the full marionette thing. Those are rough.
Many of those.
But there's a lot of scenes where like they move, they like are walking around and moving, right? I mean, yeah, they just clearly didn't spend enough money to keep animating that everywhere. The fight scenes are kind of dumb. The laser tag with the robots is something.
Okay. You know, that is probably the best part. Okay. Yep. Agreed. Laser tag with sentient puppets that you just learned about for science. Okay. I'll give you that one a little bit. That was kind of funny.
But you know, I thought it started off decently enough with like the two scientists getting killed by the demon thing, even though
they get like killed off screen. And the scientist guy, the second kill, he has a incinerator that is nuclear powered in his office.
Yeah.
2 feet from his swivel chair.
Yeah, I mean, it's basically it's basically a microwave.
Can you explain? Yeah, but it says nuclear powered.
That's what he
nuclear powered.
Yeah, because you know what, the cup of noodles only takes 10 seconds instead of the full minute and a half.
Yeah, I don't know what this movie, anything to do with science or computers or anything in this is just egregious.
Sure.
It is like, this is some of the dumbest movieing I've seen in a long time.
Yeah, and you know, one of the things that I found myself is like how much this movie was like either ripping off or you have the Jurassic Park Dilophosaurus scene or whatever the hell, the spitting one.
They do.
They totally ganked that one. There's some Indiana Jones-esque scenes with 6-shooter where he's like lassoing a couple of them. There is,
it's a lariat. Thank you very much.
Whatever. There God, there was another couple scenes where I'm like, I swear to, I think it's like ripped off just all sorts of just movies, and like it was like a Spielberg film. They were ganking it. I don't know. It's something, man. I at least appreciate like them. Like, I thought it was a cool concept of like the demons like stealing their souls. I thought that was an interesting.
I just don't know. Like, okay, so Toulon found a way to reanimate or to animate puppets, right, and have them be sentient. I just don't know how. I mean, like, you know, we've seen multiple franchises go to space, right? I just don't know like why like Egyptian hell gods. I just don't know what was the conversation. Like, I would have preferred space. Could we have gotten space? I just don't understand.
It's coming, Nate. They're keeping space in like the emergency drawer. They just can't come up with another Puppet Master theme for a film. But I get the Egyptian to some degree. I mean, if you're talking about immortality, calm down. calm your space titties and let me explain. What I'm saying is, I get the whole like if this is, you're tying back to all this immortality and stuff, and sure, Egyptians had that with the mummies and that whole belief system, right? You know, versus just going to heaven, I guess. I guess I get that, right? What I don't understand is we're all talking about this whole how he turns dolls alive. I want to know what the magic formula was for his fucking head to shape shift on the goddamn Decapitron.
That's why I was gonna say, can we just not have a nominee? Because it's gonna be Decapitron, but Decapitron is one of the dumbest things I've ever heard of, like in anything.
No. He has other heads, but they're all dumb. Like there's nothing.
It's like a blank head that can morph into Toulon.
Could you?
Himself.
I mean, Nate,
but I just don't understand like the back and forth.
This is you getting into a fight and being like, "Hold on 1 second, I gotta switch out."
let me switch. Let me switch heads real quick.
Yeah.
I don't understand what is going on.
I mean, hell, the Pinhead is the one having like pick up his fucking head. Like he can't even do it himself. He needs help to do it. Like,
this is just the worst. Like, it's just like I don't understand.
To be fair. And you know what? That's probably my biggest like. Now, to be fair, when I watched this, I did watch 4 and 5 back to back. So watching 4 and 5 back to back a little bit better because there's. But
you watched 5 You watched 5 extra for no reason.
Well, not this time around. I mean, when I first watched this.
Oh, okay, good. I was like, oh my god. I was like,
no,
really?
Years ago,
okay.
I rented them both from Blockbuster, and you know,
I was gonna start scheduling intervention just like right now. Like,
no, but there's a little bit more of a payoff with it. The problem is that if you just watch this on its own, it's really, I mean, the payoff is the Decapitron, and watching it now, it's like, yeah, Decapitron sucks. like they're like the only way to kill it is to zap it to death with Decapitron. I'm like, Tunneler just ran through one a second ago. How would he just charge him? I mean, I'm missing what extra they needed Decapitron for. And the
Tunneler is like by far the best person in this one.
Yeah. In fact, Tunneler is my nomination, by the way, for Doll of Fame.
Okay, I could actually be into that. So what are the highlights of this for you? Like what highlight moments here?
Oh goodness, let's see. I highlight moments pretty much anything with the girl that was a psychic because it was all utterly ridiculous. I like that she has passed out in like twice in this film, and almost both times comes back either seeing visions or just straight channeling someone else, which is great. To be fair, she does better voiceover work than the main voiceover for the.
That's true. So. Actually, that's true. Good point there.
Another highlight.
She's much better.
Relic of our time. In the ripoff Jurassic Park scene, I love that they have the fear sticker because for you listeners that weren't alive back in the 90s.
Oh my God. This is my second favorite part of the movie. Other than the laser.
Oh, when I saw that, I was like, oh yeah, Nate popped right there for that. Like, you know.
I was like, wow, what a blast from the past right there. That's hilarious.
The soundtrack, pretty good. I mean, no Limp Bizkit because they couldn't afford it, but like,
was Limp Bizkit a band yet? At this point?
Metal. I don't know. Yeah, maybe not. I
don't think so.
If it would have been Limp Bizkit had they been around at the time.
Like Lamp Burzkit or something. They could have maybe gone. I don't know. Who knows?
Yeah. What else? The acid bath thing is kind of cool. I mean, but
it was so lame, but it was a cool setup. I mean, I liked that part of it.
I do think the demon little dolls were cool in design and you know, actually like looked mildly terrifying, right? I think my ultimate problem with this movie is that not much happens.
Do they have helmets? What were those people wear? Was it helmets?
Who, the demons or?
Yeah, the demon puppets.
I mean, I think it's just their fucking heads, man. I don't know.
But it looked like they were wearing like a helmet. Like I wasn't sure like what. And they're getting controlled by the small people. And then as they die, they kind of like liquefy. That was okay. I was okay with that.
That was fine.
Reminded me of Clytus dying in Flash Gordon. Great Flash Gordon reference.
I mean, would it make more sense if it was like the souls they took help power the fucking demon things? But sure, whatever. I'm not really understanding what they needed to steal people's energies or souls for, but sure, they're
I don't get what the point. We might have missed it in all this deep exposition this movie was going on with, but
no.
What was the point of that? I just don't understand. Like they needed it to go take over.
Don't worry about it. No one knows. Just move on.
It was like take souls ? Rule the world. Like that's what the kind of plan was.
So. I mean, the ultimate failing with this movie is really that they filmed they split this up to film 2 movies, and they really didn't have enough good material to cover a cohesive plot for like a good enough story for the first one, right? Like you have to almost watch them both together as one movie for there to be somewhat of a decent payoff. Because this whole thing is just to introduce the Decapitron.
Yeah, the Decapitron is lame.
Yeah.
Is lame.
Like, I believe there's more deaths, there's more fights, there's more because when you get into Puppet Master 5, like they just get into it. This is like resetting up all the bullshit about the vials and if I have to hear Andre Toulon say, "I am with you."
Yeah, he's Obi-Wan Kenobi right there.
I was
kind of like Troll 2 with the grandpa. Troll 2 grandpa also.
I was going to say he's Lars from Heavyweights, but that
that's a deep cut. Wow.
That is a very deep cut. But if you get that cut, let me know because you're not my best friend. Yeah,
I got it. What do you mean? I got that.
You're already my best friend. I'm talking to people listening, Nate. I need new best friends. People who appreciate it good. Wow. People who not like I'm not replacing you, Nate. Calm down. God, you are.
I got like, oh, that was no. I couldn't even enjoy the niceness. I got thrown under the bus so fast. But other than
that's what happens when you're colleagues and contemporaries.
That's what happens when you watch Puppet Master. Things get intense. Just, don't mess around. I don't know. I can't say anything good about this. Laser tag. Yeah.
You mean him programming directly in binary didn't make you didn't
he was just typing ones and zeros, but all of his fingers were moving, but the whole screen was just ones and zeros. How do you type in binary? It doesn't even make sense.
He's a genius, Nate.
He's like, I don't even need programming languages to translate this.
He's goddamn Neo. Where do you think
he is Neo? But like they even had like characters that would mean things that would like do some of the code. Like this is just like I don't understand. It would take you like 79 hours to code anything in binary. Like if you're using just binary, it would take you like 5 years to do anything.
I appreciate that's
kind of the whole point.
The slap fight between the demon and Blade, and then Blade getting bitch slapped all the way across the room.
Yeah, puppets were getting tossed around in this one. I will say that. But then, like, the one chokes a guy, but he has, like, no momentum. And he chokes him in the car. And then, I just don't understand.
And then Blade, I guess, didn't need any of the serum, but everyone else did?
No, well, Decapitron needs the serum and
no, but Blade's already moving at the beginning of the movie before he even realized what any of the shit is.
He's got more efficient battery. I don't know.
Powered by Nazi magic, I guess.
Yeah, he's the most Nazi, so he I don't understand. Yeah, a great question. Yeah, he never really stopped. Yeah, that's I don't understand. Maybe he had like a standby mode.
Oh.
Like
I
don't even know what to I don't even know what to say.
Speaking of Nazis, I did appreciate when they found his fake passport, and it was like he's a fake Nazi, you know. And then he gets it, he's like, "Oh, I hate those guys." Like,
wow, bold take there. Those guys. Ugh.
Well, you know that's how you make every no character's just black and white. Nate, he's not just a douchebag. You know, he's a real person with real thoughts and feelings, you know, so don't celebrate his untimely death. Sorry. Another thing that I enjoyed in this movie is, and one of the things that I do love about doll horror movies is that whenever someone gets attacked by a doll, and they're like they want to get the scene of like the rampaging. It's always like some dude basically. It's like someone holding a doll to them and they're like shaking it around real violently to act like they're getting attacked.
This guy did it just so over the top aggressive.
Oh yeah.
Stupid.
Well, and I feel like that happened in like the second Gremlins 2. It's same sort of thing with like the security guard with the crazy like googly eyed gremlin. Same thing. I love that shit. Makes me laugh so hard because I mean, just having to act that out, just like I'm just gonna flail around and just fling this thing all the fuck over the place. No one has a gun. First off, these things seem to be susceptible to certainly tunneler burrowing through it. Acid weirdly not enough to kill it. That's fine.
Acid was not enough. Yeah, because of the helmet, I think.
But we had to do a whole fucking Frankenstein sequence just to get the.
Yeah, the one. As I'm saying, the worst one requires the most setup. It's like the most effort for the least amount of payoff. Not a fan. And this guy Rolfe, who's Toulon, which I skipped over purposely just to talk about. You mentioned Dolls, right? And he was in the movie Dolls before all of these Puppet Master movies. Like, that's just got to feel bad to be in Dolls and just keep going back to this. He's like, I need money this much that I keep going back to I keep doing Puppet Master 3, 4, and 5, like in separate times. And like I was in Dolls, the much superior film, which I recommend watching. And I recommend none of these other ones. So that's got to feel bad for him. And then in this one, he's like a ghost for a little bit. I don't know what that means. I don't know why he's a ghost. And then he's a superimposed head on like the worst doll of all time. So that's not great for the character. Maybe does Toulon do more in 5? I have not and will not watch this. So you can spoil it for me if you need to. I don't know. Mitch. I'm questioning a lot of stuff right now at this point.
I may have broken you. I
have a tab open on my browser that's Puppet Master Dr. Death. Doktor, in case you were wondering. It's free on Tubi. It's free on Tubi TV, and it is 59 minutes and 7 seconds. And that came out at the end of last year. So that tells you basically everything you need to know about the franchise, in my personal opinion. So,
I mean, they're not going to remind you of its German Nazi roots.
That's true. I don't know.
Well, Nate, look, I think the only thing left to ask you is, what's your final cut?
Final cut.
Go ahead, Nate. Lightning round it. Where are you at?
Last week's movie was Possum, and I'm more depressed by this movie. So, so there's that. I did not care for this. It was bad. So I guess it was a setup movie, which, well, I mean, when I watched it before I researched it. So I didn't realize when I was watching it that it was a setup movie. That being said, it's quite bad. So I'm going to give it, 2 out of 10. 2 out of 10 hieroglyphics. I don't even know what this movie is. It sucks. It's just real bad. And it wasn't bad in an enjoyable way. Although it kind of was, because I got kind of excited that I could dunk on this movie so much because it sucked. But after a while, you're just like, it just sucked. It's not. I wish it was a troll too. I wish it leaned more in. Like, I'm almost, if we do another Puppet Master movie, I'm almost wanting to do like, do we just go verse demonic toys? Like, do we just try to go for like the most ridiculous? Like, maybe that's more entertaining. I just don't know if there are any good options, but that might be the best option. Does that make sense?
No.
I don't know what I'm
But
rationalizing.
yeah.
Here. I don't even know what's happening. 2 out of 10 hieroglyphics. It's just real bad. Not a whole lot of redeemability in any way. Was it short? Yes. And that puppets and lengthwise. And I did appreciate the length portion of that. So that's one positive. There you go.
All right.
Nice.
There's that. I'm giving this I'm gonna give this a 3 out of 10.
Oh wow, that's low, man. That's low for Poet Master for you.
It is.
Wow. Did I rank it too high? Now I'm wondering if it should be like a 1.
No, I mean I would say 3 out. Yeah, 3 out of 10. Whatever. I don't even know. I'm with you from Andre Toulon. It's kind of boring. I just watched it. It was on. I felt nothing when I watched it.
Hold on a second. It was on. I felt nothing.
Yeah.
Oh man, I don't even know what that means.
Like by the end of it, it's just this big setup, right? Because again, I know what's coming up in 5, and I realize that I have fonder memories of this because I watched them back to back, so it was a whole thing and all that. And I don't know that even watching 5 on its own would be all that much better. Like I feel like I don't know. We'll find out next Hall of Fame, whether it's an aggregate thing or not. But
is there going to be a next one? Are we?
There's always another Hall of Fame. But yeah, I've said it. I mean, there's not a lot. It's pretty just meh. Which is unfortunate. I don't know why I really seemed to like this movie so much when I was younger. I don't know. I was going through a lot, Nate. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I have like some like the dentist. Like I wonder how the dentist holds up versus like Puppet Master, because I remember liking that. And obviously I have Leprechaun, so I guess
Doctor Dentist. Yeah.
I just don't know. Like I mean, correct me if I'm wrong here, but is like Leprechaun way better than this franchise? Somehow? Like, is that possible? Like when were the puppets rappers? Did that end up happening?
I think Leprechaun.
There's 15 movies. You got a shot at one of them being a rapper at one point.
Yeah, I don't know. Better maybe, but by like a hair. Leprechaun as a franchise is not significantly better than Puppet Master. But I think that's largely because Puppet Master doesn't like the puppets, which ostensibly are the most likable characters and have the most personality of anything in this movie or any of the movies, don't talk. Whereas you're just letting Warwick Davis rap and I mean rhyme and just make jokes the whole time, like a little bit more built in for that. But that's about it. The actual movies themselves were very comparable.
Are they though?
Yes, they are. I'll die on this. I'll die on that hill. Nate, we got to pick an entry for the Hall of Fame. So we have a newcomer.
It's Tunneler.
Thank you. Okay.
There's just no way Decapitron.
I can't put Decapitron. Not in this movie. Maybe in 5 he's a little better. I don't think he is though. Tunneler though, man. Tunneler just gets the job done. He's the unsung hero. I mean, he just straight murders one early, and everyone just kind of forgets about it.
Yeah, Tunneler's money. I think that is very. It's not Decapitron.
Anyone but Blade Decapitron. Doesn't do much of anything. In
Blade's getting owned in this one, actually.
Yeah, six shooters just kind of laughing a bunch.
Electrocutes one of them. I
mean, Pinhead is kind of like the Scottie Pippen to Tunneler's Michael Jordan in this one, right? Pinhead's over here holding down the demon so Tunneler can get it. Pinhead's scaling the goddamn roof somehow to Benjamin Franklin this shit with some lightning. I was tempted for Pinhead, but I think just Tunneler I don't know. Maybe I do want to go switch my Pinhead. We're gonna go Tunneler, but Pinhead very close in the voting. He's not a first. He's not a first round Hall of Fame. He's maybe a second round, but
it's the second movie we've done, so it actually makes total sense.
Yeah.
All right, second Tunneler. See, this is why the continuity is so important, Mitch. Jeez.
Yeah. Jesus. All right.
Okay, that's it. That's it for me.
Well, Nate, where can they find us?
You can find us as always at TX Pod Massacre on Twitter, Texas Podcast Massacre everywhere else. Send us an email, texaspodcastmassacre@gmail.com. Give us a call, 346-246-3143. We got more dolls, and they're not Puppet Master. Mercifully. So look forward to that. Everybody with a Peacock subscription, I guess you could check out this movie if you really want, but you don't have to. 5 is on there though, Mitch, too, I believe. So your recommendation is to watch them both back to back. Is that what I'm hearing you say?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Wow. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and The Legacy. Is that 6? No, it's not. It's number 8.
Jesus Christ.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8 are on Peacock. So those are words. Yeah. So there you go. Check that out. Get back to us. We had Megan, very enjoyable, ridiculous movie. We had Possum, a not enjoyable but very, I think, quite good movie. And then you got this. So that's where we're at. That's where we're at right now. So there you go. Yeah. I don't know. This broke my brain. Why are we watching this?
That kind of makes me. All right. Well, look, from all of us here at Texas Podcast Massacre, thank you so much for tuning in, and just keep telling yourself it's only a movie. Good night.